It is now my pleasure to introduce our penultimate session, a keynote by the ISBA President and CEO of Money Supermarket, Peter Duffy, on why true cross-media measurement is an essential requirement for marketeers.
Well, good morning, everybody. And can I just begin by saying how delighted I am to be contributing to the Renew agenda. I guess today I'm speaking both in my role as the president of ISBA, but also as a marketeer, and I guess a CEO of a company that believes marketing and advertising is absolutely central to its business model. And that's why taking on the ISBA presidency has been such a fascinating experience and has really made me reconsider my own views on the state of the industry. It's a very different ISBA to the one of a few years ago, certainly the one I experienced as a member when I was at Audi or Barclays. And I think that's because the digital revolution, the concentration of sell-side power, has just led to an imperative for advertisers to have a single unified voice. And what I've seen is, in response to that, Phil Smith and the team at ISBA have completely reinvented and reinvigorated the agenda, really by listening to members and then making sure that what happens, what is sponsored, is advertiser-led. And because it's the agenda of the advertiser community, the people who represent the shareholders who fund this critical industry for the UK, it really does put ISBA in a position where it can tackle some of its most difficult and challenging issues really successfully. And I think the facts here just speak for themselves through a number of what are really exceptional pieces of work. The multi-award-winning and snappily named Programmatic Supply Chain Transparency Study, which was done in conjunction with PwC. That's a project which has led to the creation of a cross-industry programmatic task force, which is really the first time the industry has come together to address the challenges of programmatic advertising. In 2021, the media services framework was completely overhauled and then updated in collaboration with agencies, auditors, and consultants. And then finally, we released the Enders Broadcast Trading Study. Again, that was ISBA following a mandate from its council members to play a proactive role in the shaping of the media landscape. This is really a respected piece of work that has been widely reported. Now, no one here needs me to tell them that the media landscape has never been more fragmented. We are living through a digital revolution that is changing the face of this industry. And whilst this has created many marketing opportunities, not least the abundance of channels available to reach customers, it's also created its own challenges. And what our members tell us, the advertisers of the UK, is that the biggest of these challenges is really the absence of an accountable cross-media management system. Marketeers are in many ways having to work blind because they can't fully understand the relative value of different elements of the media mix. And this affects customers. Excess frequency of advertising was named as one of the top influencers on declining consumer trust in advertising in the AA's trust research. It affects shareholders. A consolidated view of campaign reach, of frequency and outcomes across TV, video, and online display means marketeers can make better choices. We can avoid wastage and duplication and essentially drive efficiency through delivering a better consumer experience. So for ISBA members, it isn't that we just want cross-media measurement. We really feel we need it. And that's why in 2019, ISBA really made this commitment to Origin. This was a brave move, but we weren't alone. Over in the US, the Association of National Advertisers had come to the same conclusion, along with the bodies representing marketeers in France and Germany. And I think that was helpful because it meant that this was no longer just a UK issue. It was global, and it was going to be led by global CMOs from the likes of Unilever, Procter & Gamble, and MasterCard. And the World Federation of Advertisers, which formed a cross-media working group with the objective of hastening the adoption of a consistent solution, meant that we didn't take a different approach on a market-by-market basis. Now, in the UK, this was really the genesis for Origin, and this has been led by a steering group of advertisers, really working relentlessly to make this a reality. Rather like the WFA's working group, global brands are represented on the Origin Advertiser Steering Group, but importantly, So are key UK brands like BT, Tesco, British Gas. And this tireless commitment has achieved so much already. And we've hit some really important milestones during 2021. July, December were really big for us. In July, the completion of the virtual ID model, which was a sort of proof of concept, really looking specifically at how we apply TV, was delivered. Plus, we completed full end-to-end testing using synthetic data. In September, we completed a rigorous RFP process to get a single source panel, and we then saw Kantar chosen to deliver this service. In October, Origin agreed measurement principles that will ensure like-for-like reporting of impressions, no matter the media, as well as independent audit requirements. And then just in December, we completed a full virtual ID model proof of concept right across media. And importantly, we aligned on the principles of a funding and governance model that gives equal and fair representation to all within the industry. Now, we have only been able to make this amazing progress because of the vital support we have had from so many different areas of the industry. Origin has received really constructive challenge, many of which have led the team to make improvements or amendments to the project scope. And we've also received technical and specialist advice that has really enabled us to get to this current position much more quickly. But this has only really been possible because the industry, that's platforms, agencies, advertisers, have all come together and they contributed much needed funding to get this ambitious project off the ground. So that is a massive thank you to everybody who has made this possible. Now, of course, whenever you try and do anything new, you're going to get those who don't agree. And our quest for true cross-media measurement has really been no different in that regard. And I think the reasons for this are varied. You're going to get those who favour the status quo. It's working for me, so why do we need to fix it? There are those who fear what it might mean for them in terms of their own business growth tomorrow. And if I'm honest, I think there are those who just want to believe there's no better way than doing things in the way that it happens today. But I think, sadly, as a result of that, you do get a peddling of some myths. I just want to take a moment to try and kill some of the main ones now. Number one, is Origin seeking to replace the many vital measurement solutions that already exist? No, Origin does not seek to replace other projects or solutions. Instead, it's trying to complement them. And it's just with the vastly changing audience behaviours, locations, consumption of more media types than this industry could ever have dreamt of 20 years ago, we need to work together like never before. And that's why we're trying to bring together the whole industry, advertisers, agencies, media owners, again, in a way that hasn't happened before. It's about collaboration, and we're all putting our money where our mouth is, and we're collectively funding it. Number two, is the work of agencies who've been trying to develop their own cross-channel measurement tools and capabilities no longer required? No! Agencies have had to work with mismatched data for years, and I actually think that they understand firsthand the need for an industry solution. It's their expertise, their experiences, and their challenges that have really contributed to Origin's progression and will continue to be used by clients once Origin is launched. I've heard some people ask, does this replace touchpoints? No! IPA Touchpoints is a vital study which each year adds to its database of findings and highlights the habits and media moments of multiple target markets. It helps marketeers and agencies understand the context of media consumption throughout the day or across the week, and long may that continue to do so. Next, do we still need other industry measurement solutions? Yes! Brands are engaging with the likes of audience projects, real-time audience measurement service, which identifies and targets and validates audiences. Broadcaster-led initiatives such as CFly will play an essential role in giving marketeers vital data to improve their planning across broadcast and BVOD. This is all much needed and welcome progression for our industry. So, if that's what Origin isn't, let's be equally clear about what Origin is. It is an industry-wide initiative that's going to deliver cross-media measurement. It's funded from right across the industry, including for the first time a considerable amount from ISBA members UK advertisers. The technical solution is totally open source and has been built by a group of industry experts with full oversight from a steering group of Origin members. It's a complementary tool that's going to sit alongside other industry audience measurement systems. And finally, ISBA is absolutely looking to collaborate with all stakeholders to ensure that this project really delivers on what is needed across the whole industry. So please, Origin adds to rather than replaces existing elements of the ecosystem. And we are rightly proud of what's been achieved to date and the pace at which we're moving. Now, of course, we still have a long way to go. And the plan is to fully launch the product in 2024. But before that, there's a considerable amount of work still to do. So our next phase 3, is about to be officially launched. And that means that over the year 22, the focus is on building out the production environments and service, which includes the addition of single source panel data, essentially. In 23, the focus will then be on trials, getting a pilot live, and then when we pass all those solutions, the system will then finally go live. Now, ISBA represents the advertisers of the UK. This is where I really want to conclude. We passionately believe that the delivery of Origin is going to be valuable to this entire industry. We believe that everyone wins when we all work together. Customers don't get bombarded. Regulators can have confidence in targeting. Shareholders win from more effective spend. And we believe this will lead to more confidence and more investment in the industry, which is good news for everyone. And is the one thing we're all working towards. Thanks very much.